Hi, this is Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book on record episode to do. Today's book is Here Come the Dukes of Hazzard from 1983. So let's get started. And this record looks kind of beat up looking, so I hope it don't skip or not. I don't mind the popping sound. So let's get started.
This is your Dukes of Hazzard read-along book. Every time you hear this chime, it means it's time to turn the page in your storybook. Now, we are ready to begin. Open your book, and we'll start our story. Hear the chime, turn the page. Howdy, folks, and welcome to Hazzard County. For years and years, folks around these parts have been talking about something mighty interesting. Now, rumor has it that 30 years ago, bank robbers from upstate hid their stolen money, $50,000, somewhere in Hazzard County. The bank robbers were caught, but the money was never found. Boss Hogg's ears perked up real fast when he got a call from his friend, the prison warden. It seems that the warden overheard the two convicts talking about where they had buried their treasure. If Boss Hogg can find the treasure, then he and the warden will split the money 50-50. There's only one little problem. The treasure is buried somewhere on Duke property. Bo and Luke won't take too kindly to Boss Hogg sneaking around. They ain't exactly what you would call the best of friends. Bo, Luke, and Daisy were helping Uncle Jesse dig some holes for a new fence in the south pasture when all of a sudden, Bo's shovel struck something hard about 2 feet under the ground. It was an old metal trunk. They all lifted it up out of the ground. What in tarnation could be in it? They carried the trunk back to Uncle Jesse's house and used a hammer to break open the lock. When they lifted up the lid, they couldn't believe their eyes. Yep, you guessed it. The trunk was chock full of money. Bundles and bundles of $50 and $100 bills. Of course, they knew they couldn't keep it. They would have to turn it over to Sheriff Coltrane. The following morning, when Boss Hogg showed up with a county permit to dig for water on Duke property, everybody smelled a rat. They figured Boss Hogg must have found out about the money buried on the property and had come a-looking for it. They smiled real polite-like and didn't let on that they knew what he was up to. You see, the Dukes had a little surprise for Boss Hogg. A surprise he won't like one little bit. Uncle Jesse told Boss Hogg to go ahead and dig to his heart's content. He even had Daisy bring out a pitcher of lemonade around midday. Bo and Luke watched real careful to see where Boss Hogg and his men were digging. It was in the south pasture, not far from where the Dukes had found the money. Boss Hogg worked up quite a sweat that day, but he didn't find a thing. I can't for the life of me imagine why. Late that night, after Boss Hogg and his men were gone, Bo and Luke put their plan into action. First, they took all the money out of the trunk and put it into a burlap bag. Then Bo wrote a little poem for Boss Hogg and placed it inside the empty trunk. This is what it said. Sorry, Hogg, we know how hard you tried to find the loot. But someone got here first, and so we're giving you the boot. Luke slipped one of Uncle Jesse's old beat-up boots into the chest and closed the lid tight. Then Bo and Luke carried the chest out in the field. There, they dug a hole and buried the old trunk in a spot where Boss Hogg and his men would be sure to find it. They packed the grass down real careful like, so that no one would be able to tell anything was wrong. That night, they laughed themselves to sleep, thinking about all the fun they were going to have the next day. In the morning, bright and early, Boss Hogg and his workmen showed up and started in a digging again. Bo, Loot, Daisy, and Uncle Jesse were hiding back in the bushes to watch the fun. Suddenly, one of the workmen's shovels struck something hard. "Get it up out of that hole," shouted Boss Hogg. "I can't wait to see what's inside." The Duke family had to bite their tongues to keep from laughing out loud as Boss Hogg reached down with his greedy little hands and opened the trunk. As soon as he saw there was no money in the trunk, he turned red as a freshly painted barn. When he read the note and saw the old boot, Boss Hogg really blew his top. He stormed off across the pasture faster than a hungry fox in a chicken coop. Now, old Boss Hogg never found out who wrote that note, but I'll bet he got awful suspicious when he heard that the Duke family had found the missing money on their property and had turned it all over to the sheriff. It seems that the bank was offering a reward of $1,000 to whoever found their stolen money. I can tell you one thing for sure. That night, the Dukes were the happiest folks in Hazzard County.
So that was Here Come the Dukes of Hazzard from 1983. And like I said in the other video, I never seen this TV show at all. So this is kind of the first time of me ever seeing it in this kind of format. So please like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. And our next book will be G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, The Captor City.